I do like the under. I don't think they keep it within the number, though. I think you are going to see Notre Dame run all over Navy. I think it's going to get very ugly from the jump. I think the defense is going to lock them down. Yeah, give me the Snakes. I'll lay it today. I think Merrill Kelly pitches really well against them today, but I just think that bullpen is going to get destroyed.
Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing? Javon just took the meat out and faded his own squad. He's fading the Reds today. This is like Christmas. This is unbelievable. Chat, meat on tape tonight for the Commanders ML. I can't stress this enough. I will have a rack on them in the preseason. That's the most I'm going to put on a team in the preseason because it's preseason. But it's my favorite bet so far of the NFL year. If you're not taking it, I can't help you. Football is here, ladies and gents, and you can make some serious coins responsibly on the Commanders ML. That intro song absolutely bangs. Ladies and gentlemen, BTL episode 307 piece. Hold the fry as always. Joined by your guys, Krabs and Javon on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It's NFL Eve, brother. We've almost made it.
Yes, it is. I can't even be concerned about the NFL right now after what I'm seeing on the diamond. Yesterday was awesome. Not just with the bets, but a Rays and Reds walk-off within like 20 minutes of each other. Like I can't contain myself. It was fire.
Unbelievable. Javon didn't know what to do with his hands. The Reds are back. Okay, unbelievable.
So back.
What a comeback last night. We're going to get to that in a moment. Let's give the people a rundown of these games starting up soon, Javon. We got a game, Milwaukee Pitt, starting up here in 1 minute. All right, so let's go over that. Javon, what do you like in this one for the people?
Don't like too much. I do like a decent pitching performance from both the guys and Freddie Peralta, and then like an extended kind of end game-ish for the Pirates. But they have seen each other quite a few times between Freddie and the Pirates lineup. So I think it's going to be difficult, but I think you do get a relatively good performance. I like the under. I don't love it. It's not something I'm going to play, but we are playing a little Brian Reynolds action.
Sure. We can show the people a two-piece here so they can get it in maybe. Last second buzzer beater. This is why you guys follow the BTL Twitter. We tweet these out beforehand. Little Brian Reynolds and Joe Ryan. Little Brian Ryan two-piece here, Javon. You like Brian Reynolds more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs today?
Yeah, 100%. He's the guy in the lineup who has seen Freddie Peralta the most times, and he's had pretty good success off of him. And I do think they're going to be pretty pesky today. The Pirates, I think, keep it close. So he's my favorite guy to do it.
Okay. Maybe Peralta isn't as sharp as he's been today. His fantasy score looked a little bit low against a Pirates team. So there should be some sort of offensive production from the Pirates today. Let's hope it's your guy, Brian. And then let me know what you're fading or what you're liking about fading Joe Ryan in this 1:10 Eastern start.
Yeah, so Joe Ryan, like he is not full turkey, but he's shown signs of it, and he's given up a lot more hard contact than he did, especially against teams who don't strike out. And not only do the Guardians not strike out, but this is also going to be their third time seeing him this season. So I think you're going to have to struggle a little bit to get whiffs, which is obviously great when you have a fantasy score. But I also do think they score off of them, and they're going to be pretty live in this game, maybe early and often. So I like a little fade of him. I think the Guardians bats do okay today.
Okay, and we went fantasy score instead of taking his more than 2.5 earned runs allowed. Javon, you don't think he gets a win today, and you're a little bit worried maybe he doesn't get a bunch of strikeouts, right, against his team.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to get a win. Hopefully no quality starts, so you went with fading the fantasy score.
Yeah, I do like Gavin Williams match up a little bit. I know this game was supposed to have happened last week, but he got pulled early because he got hurt or whatever the story was. Like, I think he pitches okay. I think they get the win, but whenever I'm fading a pitcher facing the Guardians, I usually like to do the fantasy score because it takes into account both of they can score runs and they also don't strike out. So, yes, that's baked into the line a little bit, but if a guy like Joe Ryan, who's so boomer bust strikeout, I think I want to take that as part of it.
Okay. Who do you like to win this game? Twins or Guards?
Guards.
Guards. A little plus 105 sprint maybe for the people if they're looking for a book play in this early afternoon slate.
Yeah, I mean, pretty terrible these first 2 games of the series. So hopefully they have a little bounce back here against Joe Ryan.
Okay. W's. Chat, we move. We're going to go over the baseball slate today. Don't you worry. But we have a ton to go over before that. So let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. We got some sub bangs. Colin Reardon, 33, coming in with a sub bang, 8 months. That's what I'm talking about. We got Archie Gambles coming in with a sub bang, 9 months. Let's go. We got Devin Makes Music coming in with a sub bang, 8 months with the best Twitch stream. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go, Devin, one of my OGs. That's what I'm talking about, Beast. We got a hype train to start out this Wednesday afternoon, BTL. The vibes are up. The squad rides are hitting. Let's run it back. Let's find another squad ride for this afternoon. But first, we got to go over some recaps from yesterday. Okay. W squad ride, W best bets. Javon, great work yesterday. Absolutely swept the board. You're seeing the board clear as day right now, brother.
Yeah, you love to see it. A little back-to-back action. So hoping we can do the same today. It's definitely a much tougher board, though. So it's going to be a little trouble to navigate through those, but feel good about some of the plays.
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
Yeah, shout out Nick Martini. Absolute legacy.
Shout out Nick Martini. We'll show this home run for the people. My goodness. Guys, I turned the game off. I was so blown. The squad ride, I mean, there were so many people on base in this game, so many base hits, so many gold glove gems made. There was 3 diving plays made in this game from 3 atrocious defenders. There were people getting thrown out, stealing bases multiple times. Javon, I thought we just never were going to get it. And it was one of those you take where, you know, you got so many people on the base pass and you're scratching your head asking yourself, how the heck is this over not hit yet? And then next thing you know, they're pinch hitting Nick Martini and he's hitting a 3-run yag to tie this game up.
Such a goat, man. That's what he owed us one. He owed us one for selling a square the other day. So he came through. That was fire. Honestly, I had this feeling about this game once I saw, 5-1, 6-1, and then Noelvi hit a gag to bring the game. I think that was the second home run of the inning, straight out of 1-2. I texted Trent when he was absolutely going crazy because he needed Elliott and needed the over. I was like, dude, the Reds are winning this game. And it was one of those where it felt like it was written in the stars. I mean, that's 3 walk-offs in the last week for the Reds. The little magic they had might be back. I'm feeling good.
They now lead baseball with 10 walk-offs this season. That's nuts.
Crazy.
That's nuts. They're tied with the Twins, 10 walk-offs each.
Yeah,
this
and I think
magical.
They said like 5 of them are from rookies too, which I mean that's a majority of their roster at this point, but crazy to think.
It's so impressive to see what this team's doing. They're still hanging on by a thread, and maybe we're seeing a little bit of momentum as we head into the final 25 games of the season. Javon, you're going to need it. You're going to need it.
Yeah, just might.
All right. Pulse check on the playoffs.
Oh, I feel great. I was honestly really worried about this week because they had Cubs in a 4-game series, which they got a split there, and then they had playing the Mariners, one of the hottest teams in baseball, and they took 2 of the first 3, hopefully at the least. But I do think they have a shot today. So now that they're through this little stretch, they play a really easy schedule, and a lot of the teams like in between them, like the Cubs and D-backs, have a series this week. The Cubs and the Giants have been playing each other. The Marlins have a really tough schedule. So scheduling wise, they have a really large advantage on everybody else. So I feel pretty good there.
Okay, he feels great. Let's go, chat. The Reds are back. The meat's glued again. All right.
Yeah, glue it back.
It was never unglued. Don't get me wrong. Come on.
Yeah.
Fuzzy, 9-9, coming in with a sub-bang, 14 months. That's Hart. We got a hype train level 1, folks. The Greek boy, 14, coming in with a sub-bang. Cubs, Giants, over 10.5. Be seeing. Okay. Javon, what do you think about that over?
There's like a fat wind game today in Wrigley. So if we get it, especially with like Jordan Wicks on the mound, who, what is this, his 3rd career start? I think you're going to get some serious turkeys from the Giants side. So I'm kind of worried because I don't want to see them win. I'm rooting for the Cubs at this point. But yeah, I think a lot of the Giants, especially the righties, like a Wilmer Flores, are going to hit some turkeys. And Alex Wood doesn't inspire much confidence to hold the offense down either. So I do like that over. It's high for
all right.
overs.
W's. We got Go Cubs Go 16 coming in with a sub bang. Cubs ML. That can't be biased at all. That might be Chewy's burner. But if it is, that's okay. Thanks for the sub. We got Naps Jr. coming in sub banging. We got a hype train level 2, folks. Let's keep the vibes up and the energy up on this Wednesday afternoon. We got football tomorrow. We got baseball winners to find for today. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Javon, we cashed another PrizePicks entry yesterday. Let's freaking go, dude.
Huge.
Needed it.
Huge.
Absolutely needed it. The bankroll has been depleted, sending all these freaking, season-long megs, season-long goat whales. Needed to see another one go through the hoop, and it did, chat. I mean, J-Rod, legacy day yesterday, hitting nukes left and right. You got Yelich scoring a run the day after we took him. You knew that was free. And then how about Ellie coming through at the end with a base hit infield single? I mean, the fastest guy I've ever seen on earth. I don't know how he beat it out. We'll show it to you guys because Trent is rich, and let's show you why. Okay, Trent had a 6-piece, which, I mean, looking at those squares, I could probably guess where he got some of those from. Maybe this guy right below me right here. But either way, my goodness, Trent, a little 6-piece hold the fry coming down to the last at bat for Ellie, and he beats it out. Unbelievable. We'll show you guys, we'll play you guys the sound. We'll show you the reactions. We'll play this video one more time. But my goodness, absolutely electric last night, Javon. W square, and Trent just cashed a goddamn 6-piece. What is going on?
Lodano, I need you more than ever, my man. 13 racks on the line here. 9th inning. Take the kids home. Dude, are you fucking... Beat it out. Beat it out. Yeah! Yeah! Ellie! Bang! You son of a bitch! The speed on this man! Oh my God! Look at this guy!
Unbelievable.
Yeah!
He's in
I
there.
fucking love you, Ellie. Look at him go. He's fucking safe.
There may or may not have been a tear coming out of Trent's eye at that point because he just hit a 6-piece for the first time. That was unbelievable. Javon, W inside, W squares. Alley-oop in the man. Some plays.
Unreal.
Holy
Unreal.
smokes, dude.
Unreal.
Holy smokes.
He was throwing around some nukes yesterday.
Yes. It's our job today to make sure he doesn't lose all those coins.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And you know what? You'd think after this, Trent, the night would be over, right? You go out on top. But, guys, it's Trent we're talking about here. The most Trent thing ever happened right after when he's on cloud 9, literally thinking he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, as he should. Next thing you know, he gets a DM from Blake Snell last night saying that goat whale ain't hitting. Imagine you're literally God. You just hit a freaking 6-piece on PrizePicks, 25x or unbelievable. And then you get a DM from Snell saying, you lost this one, G.
Yeah, that one hurts. That one hurts.
And we got
especially
a Brewers bang.
Watson.
Brewers bang. Okay. We're going to need some Pirates bangs, folks.
Yeah, we'll see some runs on both sides. How about it?
We're going to need some Pirates bangs. All right. But yeah, Javon, he ended up asking him what he thought sells it. And he said, your guy Deshaun.
Yeah, I might double down now, respectfully. Mr. Snell.
Oh, man.
You don't know ball, man.
Unbelievable. Brought back to reality a little bit, Trent, but this is only shit that would happen to you, bro. Only shit that would happen to you. Hysterical. Still a W.
Imagine not listening to the Cy Young winner. Come on.
I mean, yeah, anything Blake Snell touches right now is turning to gold. So, maybe it will be Deshaun, but let's hope it's not because I have him about 700 season-long squares. We got Kobe coming in with a first-time chat. Kobe DeCan. Wow. That's what I'm talking about, Kobe. Thanks for joining. Make sure you drop a follow. All right, Beast. Let's move on. Javon, that's enough Blake Snell and Trent Gass for one day. Let's talk about Corbin. He needs to hang them up, bro. He needs to hang them up.
Yeah, he sucks.
He is getting lit up. He's got no gas left in the tank at this point of the season. They might as well shut him down. He's got no gas.
Yeah, absolutely zero. You're giving up.
He's got nothing.
Two home runs to Brandon Nemo in 4 innings is crazy.
Yeah, that won't happen ever again. It is what it is, chat. The 6-piece I sent, not getting that $13,000. I'll probably get 2 racks back. It's going to go 5 or 6. It's already written in the stars.
You still got game of the year coming up, potentially, if he gets to see the Pirates in his next start, which he's scheduled for right now, but that could change.
As of right now, he is scheduled to make a start against the Pirates next week.
Yeah, as of now, but we'll see. We'll see if he makes that start.
That could be our only chance, chat. That could be our only chance. All right? This shit ain't hitting. Let's show you some stuff that might. Okay, chat? Javon, we got 2 entries that are getting down to the wire here for the MLB season-long PrizePicks plays we sent. We need Corey Seager to get 16 more hits, I believe, for the Spaces entry that you sent. 16 more hits for the guy who's heating up and now qualified to win the AL MVP, which he probably still won't win, but maybe he should, the way he's been hitting and carrying this offense, Javon. How are we feeling at this point? Need about 16 more hits with about 20 to 25 games left. Feeling
good. Feeling great. I mean, he's absolutely unreal right now. I believe he's at 131 or 132. So he needs 15 or 16 there. But I feel great. He is the only thing in this Rangers lineup or Rangers team that is absolutely rolling right now. And I think he gets some today too, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
W for Brady.
Let's go, Brady. Looks like Brady's put his trust in the squad ride, and he responsibly bets it every day because it's, 40 games over 500. And a boy, Brady. Chat, be more like Brady today. Be more like Brady. Okay? Looks like we need Seager to get 16 more hits here, Javon. Fingers crossed he stays hot, stays healthy. We got one more entry, though. I believe this was the BTL entry. Correct me if I'm wrong. The BTL MLB season mag. Where we need Matt Olson to get 6 more hits. And this chart's wrong, at least from what I saw on Google today. He's got 138 hits. We need 6 more hits from Matt Olson. We need 1 more start from Cal Quantrill, which should be coming up soon. It doesn't even need to be a start, like you said, Javon, just an appearance. And he should be due to make another start any day now. Chat, we need Matt Olson, and we need him bad because he's limping into the finals of the season, right? Limping into the playoffs, but we just need 6 more hits. Okay?
Yeah, Cal Quantrill is slated to start tomorrow against the Angels, by the way.
Good.
So we're good there.
Good
there.
Okay.
We just need Matt Olson.
No fluke shit for this entry. None. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. All right, chat.
Stay healthy and get some hits, man.
Stay healthy, get some hits. Okay, we're only asking for 6. All right, chat. Wanted to give you guys a little update there. We're going to go over the Duke Riley Leonard situation that we talked about yesterday, chat. I mean, this is ridiculous. We saw the video of Riley Leonard asking his professor for an extension on his homework after beating the best team in the ACC and a top 10 team in college football. Well, the professor has come back with his response, and it's the most Duke response of all time, man. If I didn't hate this school right now, I hate him even more. He said, "How about no?"
Unreal.
He said, "How about no?" We'll play you guys this video and let you listen to it. But I mean, this professor, no wonder he works at Duke. This guy, he just thinks he's got himself. Let's just watch the video. My goodness.
Professor Taylor, if you're seeing this, please let me turn in my homework late because it's due tonight. I think at 12, so it may already be 12.
Hey, Riley, great game last night, man. It was so exciting. Congratulations to you and all your teammates. But, Wesley Williams and the other linemen who were in the class, they said they prepared ahead and did it ahead of time. So why didn't the quarterback? So no way, man. No extension.
Professor Taylor.
I mean, Javon, first of all, cut the kid a break. He just pulled off the greatest win in your football program's history, which isn't saying much because it's Duke football. But is this not the most Duke shit you've ever seen in your entire life?
Yeah, and with that, Riley Leonard has just entered the transfer portal. He's going to be headed somewhere else after that one. He's not getting an
I mean-
extension after beating Duke or beating Clemson at home, something that program hasn't even sniffed for centuries now. So
Yeah, and
good luck
like,
with that.
is his O-line throwing him under the bus here? Are they saying don't give him the extension? He doesn't deserve it. We turned it in. We stayed up late the night before a game and did our homework. Are they throwing him under the bus? Is Professor
This might
making
be.
a joke? All I know is that, yeah, all jokes aside, any recruits seeing these videos or any recruits seeing this shit, they ain't going to Duke. I'll tell you that much. You can walk your ass over to any other ACC team and not go to class. All right, I've seen it firsthand. It's ridiculous. Okay, you want your football program to grow, you don't post videos like this. All jokes aside. Okay, poor Riley Leonard, man. He got a zip on his homework. I'm sure he'll bounce back though.
Yeah, Professor surely laid the points with Clemson.
He's still salty, bro. He's still salty. There's probably an 80% chance he had a sneak Clemson ticket, maybe Clemson live. Okay,
Yeah, 100%.
we move. Unbelievable, Professor Tail Javon. Yeah,
He did. Yeah,
Javon,
he laid it
Javon's
with me.
first loss all week.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But
Close.
started off the week. With some this.
All right, chat. Here's what we got going on the rest of the show. All right, we're going to spend the rest of the time talking NFC betting previews for the next 20 or 30. And then we're going to finish up with some MLB talk for today, going through the slate, finding you guys some winners because we know that's still important. Even with football coming up, we'll spend plenty of time, at least 30 minutes, talking about some MLB today. Okay, plain and simple. We got some plays. Javon, you talked about the slate being nasty. It sure as hell is. It's exactly what we want. That's when we thrive. That's when we're at our best. Okay, let's start with the NFC. NFL futures talk here, Javon. W. Daniel graphic. Can we get some W's in chat for our guy Daniel and W's in chat for our guy Goots, our producer in the back end who's running the show today? Can we get some W's going for our boys working hard? Okay, they're working their asses off to get graphics up like this and run BTL for you guys to have the best experience possible. With that being said, let's cut the shit. Let's dive right in, Javon. NFC. All right, the NFC is moose. The NFC stinks. I'm looking at these teams. I'm looking at these divisions. I'm not seeing more than a couple teams who I think have a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl. And I'll tell you what, wouldn't mind taking that AFC to win the Super Bowl future at minus 120. It's on a lot of the books right now, Javon. I've been a fan of that bet for the last 5 or so years. And I'll tell you what, almost every year it's a coin flip, minus 110 both sides, maybe minus 115. This is the most juice I've ever seen on that prop since I've really been following football. So obviously the AFC has an advantage, guys. We're not going to sit up here and just roast the NFC, though, this entire time. We still have some futures we got to go over, and we still have some value, I think, on the board, Javon, that we can provide the people with, talking about some of these teams, some win totals, some favorite prize pick squares for the season, NFL championship matchup predictions, you name it. We got it, Javon. Why don't we start with our favorite win totals? All right. Why don't you get it kicked off? What's your favorite win total over in the NFC this year, Javon?
It's the Falcons, and I'm surprised in chat. A lot of people are saying they're shocked to see it or need to hear me sell it. I feel like I've talked about it enough, but the Falcons, man, like a lot of the things, especially with their week schedule, like the Saints and Falcons have been tied for same strength of schedule, 1 and 2. Saints have been first in a lot of projections, but now the Falcons are first in a lot of projections. So back and forth there, super easy schedule. Plus, like the thing that we see in the NFC South, and we have seen for years, the backbone of the Saints when they've been good or when they haven't, regardless of the quarterback situation, has been their defense. Now, the quarterbacks of that defense from the coaching side, he's in Atlanta. They made a lot of upgrades to their defense. Also, guys that are from the Saints directly. David Onyemata's there. Caden Ellis is there. They made back end a lot of additions there with Jesse Bates and a lot of the secondary. So, like, I think the Falcons defense is going to be very, very good this season, especially against a soft schedule and a lot of piss-poor offenses. And then, like, am I the biggest Desmond Ridder? Yeah, I mean, 100%. They're there because of their soft schedule, but also it's pretty telling. Everybody loves the Saints. I'm not a big fan of the Saints, especially when they don't have the backbone of that defense because a lot of it's now in Atlanta. So a lot of people like Atlanta because of the soft schedule, because of Bijan. He's super cool. Kyle Pitts, I think, is going to turn a corner this season. We've told ourselves that the first couple of years here, but now I think they've really retooled the offense to where he'll be able to break out. So I like everything about it, especially like I'm not a huge Ridder fan, but he's playing behind one of the best offensive lines in football. He has one of the most efficient running games in the NFL as well to back that up. And now you add Bijan into the mix. So Falcons are going to be good. I don't know why a lot of people are scared about this team or about this line. They're winning 9 games and they're going to the playoffs.
Well, they might win 10 if Taylor Heineke enters the picture. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that much. Javon, I got some bold predictions for the NFC. This is one of them, so I might as well go ahead and pitch this one now. I think Taylor Heineke will be the starting quarterback of the Falcons as they head into the playoffs, and he's going to carry them there. It won't be Desmond Ridder. It'll be Taylor Heineke. And he's the one that's going to take him over this win total. He's the one that's going to carry his magic, take his magic, and carry this team into the playoffs, potentially a wild card spot. But that division stinks. Who else is winning it?
Yeah, I mean, the Saints are the only team with a pulse. And like I said, I think offensively, I'm cool with Derek Carr. I have no issues. But defensively, a lot of the backbone that's there is in Atlanta now. And to speak on this little stuff with Kyle Pitts, last year he did that, but what did they do now? They added Jonnu Smith, which it's not like going to bring you much production in the sense of like Jonnu Smith is going to change this offense. But what does it do? It allows Jonnu Smith to be on the line and Kyle Pitts to be out wide a little more than they're been able to do over the last couple of seasons. So that's another addition that I think is slept on because, like I said, you're not going to get that much production out of Jonnu Smith, but it's going to allow that offense to do a lot more with Kyle Pitts. So the Falcons are going to be better than a lot of people think. Again, it's a team that I don't know why everybody's so scared to back.
Yep. I'm in. Fade the Saints. That's everybody's public darling in that division. They will find a way to fuck it up. Give me the Falcons. Slept on, underrated, new young team who has the tools finally this season, at least on defense, to shore up some of their issues from 2022. They should be good enough to hit this win total and maybe even win that division. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. Javon, I like the Cowboys this season. It is what it is. And guys, this is coming from the biggest Manders fan. You guys know. And I'm telling you, the Cowboys are going to go 9.5 wins. It's minus 160. If you want to take over 10, potentially push, sure, go ahead. I do think this team wins 10 or 11 games at least. But it's going to be the Cowboys year. Everyone's hopping off of Dak Prescott. Everyone's hopping off the Cowboys after last season when everybody was on them for some reason. And the Eagles did what they did. Now everybody's jumping from the Cowboys bandwagon to the Eagles bandwagon saying they've already won the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, I freaking bet. The Eagles got to play a tough-ass schedule. And I'm willing to bet Dak Prescott has his best career NFL season this year. Best career season. It's coming. All right? They don't got Zeke. I know they still have Pollard. You're going to see them running a more conservative offense, which Dak is significantly more comfortable with. I'll be honest with you guys. The Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott collab wasn't it. It wasn't it. As someone who watched those games for years, it did not work. It didn't work. Now Dak Prescott gets to run his offense, much more conservative. You can see him running screens in practice. People are making fun of it. That ain't no problem. It's not. Okay, be conservative. Run the offense you're comfortable with, Dak, and take this team into the playoffs by winning more than 10 games this season. Love the Cowboys this year. Love it.
Agreed. Right there with you.
All right, and this pivots. We'll go right to the next one. Eagles. Less than 11.5 wins this year, guys. These kind of go hand in hand. I'm not saying the Eagles are going to be atrocious, although I will say I do have a little sneak wager or a little sprinkle on the Eagles to miss the playoffs, but I'm fading the Eagles, the most public team this season, after a Jalen Hurts anomaly in 2022, where he turned into Tom Brady and was one of the most accurate passers in football. I'm willing to bet that the first place teams that the Eagles have to play on their schedule this season, because they have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL and they were in first place last year, I'm willing to bet some of those coaches, some of those teams this offseason are going to find some way to slow down Jalen Hurts in the air and make this team now without Miles Sanders beat him on the ground a little bit, which I think could be some trouble for the Eagles. I'm down on them this season. I think they win less than 11.5 wins. So that's why I'm fading them on the win total this season. Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate doing that. The playoffs ticket is kind of where you lose me, but I can support the healthiest team in the NFL who had the easiest schedule in the NFL regressing a little bit this season when both those things are in all likelihood not going to be true. So
yep,
that's where I'm with you. Win total under is a new one that I'm probably going to add, and it's the Rams. Cooper Kupp news changes everything for me, and this defense with the guys that they've brought in, or I guess lack thereof, it reminds me a lot of what I thought about the Cardinals defense last year. A lot of guys who are a little bit past their prime or they're project guys, unproven. So like all the young guys in that defense are really going to be projects to put together if they get it together at all. So it's really the defense for me that I'd never really have believed in for the Rams. And now you have a lot of different things going on with that offense. Cooper Kupp is not only looking like he's going to be out for a week, but maybe there's a little long-standing issue. Like hamstrings usually are, but now that he's seeing a specialist to see why he keeps getting these injuries and trying to get down to the root of them, there's probably a bigger problem at hand. So I think overall with this team, you're going to see a year similar to last year where they don't quite have much direction, especially when the main key targets on that offense and then a lot of that defense is not healthy either. So I am glad to fade the Rams this season. And to be honest with you, the bottom of that division, I don't think they're going to be all that far from the Cardinals if Kupp isn't healthy. And Stafford, who knows what he's going to look like without Kupp. And then he's coming back from an injury, obviously, as well, which they said he'd look good. But I'll believe it for, when I see it over the long course of a season.
Okay. Yep. Cooper Kupp being out changes everything. That was the main thing you said that stuck with me. It's true. I mean, this team might literally look to tank now, along with the Cardinals, and try to get Caleb Williams. Plain and simple.
Yeah, especially now that Caleb Williams has basically said, I don't want to go to Arizona.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but Caleb Williams' pop has come out and said, well, the great thing about the draft is that if he doesn't want to go, he can come back to school. If he gets picked by a shitty team in a bad, spot, he can go back to school. And I'm calling his bluff, okay? He's going to be the number 1 overall pick this year. Okay, we've only seen minimal people ever turn this down and pull that Eli Manning scum ass shit where you just sit out and, it's your way or the highway. He will be the first overall pick. But there are rumors, there are whispers, and he's already saying that, or his dad's already saying that he doesn't want to go to the Cardinals. So that's definitely something to note, and maybe could be some motivation for the Rams without Cooper Kupp now to potentially tank. Okay? Dubs, let's go to our favorite PrizePicks season-long squares in the NFC. Javon, I'll get it kicked off. I've already sold this one a bazillion times. Dak Prescott, less than 12.5 interceptions. He said he's not throwing 10. He's not throwing 10. Half his picks last year, if you watch his games, were all flukes. They were tips. They were bad routes. They were the luckiest picks I've ever seen in my life. He spent the entire offseason cutting these picks down in a new conservative offense where he's not throwing the ball, to CeeDee Lamb 70 yards down the field like Kellen Moore always wanted him to do. You're not going to see those picks as much and those opportunities for interceptions just with the play calling that they're given. So fade the Dak Prescott narrative that he sucks and that he's going to throw 15-plus picks that I'm seeing on every single sports book as a boost, and back him to have his best career year, less than 12.5 interceptions thrown this season.
Yeah, I like that. We've talked about that plenty. Just like mine in the East, too. We've talked about Jahan Dotson. I think with this offense, and I also, of course, am a believer in what they have going on at the quarterback situation with Sam Howell. I think they're going to get the ball into Jahan Dotson's hands plenty. Terry or no Terry. This is one that I was considering even before the injury, but I like Terry a little more. And then, Terry got turf toe and I kind of pivoted. Now, I don't know if this has to do with like an official, not announcement, because I don't think I've seen it anywhere, but some intel that Terry might for sure be out for a couple weeks. They bumped that number up a little bit. But Jahan Dotson is going to be the focal point of that offense, especially in the short game, to get Sam Howell very comfortable in running the enemy offense. So I love everything about him this year.
100%. It got bumped up to 52.5, I believe. You still like it at that number?
Yeah, 100%. And I did see this too. I meant to send you this if you didn't see this, but Jamison Crowder.
See that. This is
I figured
great.
It's great, but it's also, great for the crop. Yeah, not good for your fandom over there, because that's probably the indication that Terry is going to miss a little more time than a lot of people think. But early on, great news for Jahan.
And I love me some Jamison Crowder. We drafted him back in 2015 in the 3rd round. He was an overperformer. He worked his ass off. He never bitched. He never moaned. Dude was a fucking beast. And I'm excited, ecstatic to have Jamison Crowder back as our slot receiver. Needed one, and we got one. Not running the same routes as Dotson anyways, or Terry. He's a slot. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not going to take away receptions. If anything, it'll help because now you have a decent receiver out there when Terry's gone. So love it. Absolutely love it. Honestly, Crowder was him on the Manders. People forget out of nowhere. And if you guys have your draft tonight, I have one of my drafts tonight. If you're not drafting Jahan Dotson, and this is not even bias, Javon will tell you the same shit. Yeah. You're fucking up. He's going to be a top 10 receiver in football for the first month.
And you should start him week 1, obviously, depending on your options. But don't be shy to start him against the Cards.
No, you should start him week 1, probably no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would start him over Lockett. I would.
Who does Seahawks have week 1?
Seahawks play the Rams.
Oof. That's I don't know
That's
if
a
I would do
win-win.
that. Yeah, it's
That's
a
a
win-win
win-win.
situation.
Okay. Let's move. Javon, NFC West squares. I'll go over mine first. Guys, I'm back in the kicker square. It was really tough for me to find one here, but I do like Jason Myers after a career season where he went 34 for 37. I'm expecting the Seahawks offense to take a little bit of a step back this season. Not a big Geno guy. Thought about backing not in the major match square here and fading Geno in the pass yards, but went a little bit of a different angle that still kind of complements it. I think this offense will stall more this season. Last year had to be an anomaly. If they can do that again, I'll charge it to the game, but I'm not a believer in Geno Smith or this offense. And with Pete Carroll on the way out, I think this team will be kicking even more field goals this season as their offense takes a step back from whatever the heck we saw last year where they pulled that shit out of their ass. So give me Jason Myers after a career season. He's got to be one of the most confident kickers coming into this year after we saw a bunch of guys last year suck at kicking. Jason Myers' legacy season, 92%. They're going to be kicking even more field goals this year. I think he gets at least 30. All right. What do you got, Javon?
I like that. I went with Stafford. I was also between taking mid-major match square and fading Geno and fading Stafford, but kind of with the new news here, obviously, I'm not going to beat it to a pulp, but I think you're going to get a terrible showing from that offense who, frankly, is going to be put in a really tough spot with their defense being as poor as I think it's going to be. So that's the only reason why I didn't go with yards. I guess if you want to go with the yards, injury is probably on your side there too with Matt Stafford, especially if he gets a little nicked up and they're not in contention toward the end of the season. But I think this offense does not excite me at all. So I'm fully supportive of a lot of Stafford unders this season, especially if we get more Cooper Kupp news in the coming days here that he might be out a little long.
I'm with you. If Cooper Kupp was healthy, I'd be back in the Rams to do good stuff this season. But it changes everything. And it could change the entire game plan for the organization this season.
Yeah.
It really could. Because now they don't have a freaking shot to do anything. Zip.
Pretty
so
much,
they could be tanking. I'm with you. Okay. W's. It's my birthday. Give me a super mega bookie bankruptcy nuke to ride. Delta Chi, Bush Apple. We got you, my man. Stick around for the squad ride coming up in less than an hour. That's the play you want to be tailing today. Plain and simple. All right, let's keep powering through, Javon. You guys have heard my Justin Jefferson less than 8.5 receiving touchdowns pitch before. I'll give it to you really quick right now. Guys, you act like he gets 10 a year. He doesn't. He's only hit this over 1 out of 3 seasons. And now he's got Jordan Addison. And now the Vikings have a cupcake schedule in the cupcake NFC where they're not going to need to be passing that much this season. They're going to be up in so many games. They're going to be running the living crap out of the football. They're not going to need to find Jay Jettas in the end zone. And even if Kirk Cousins is looking for him, he's going to see 6 weapons who are all feasible options, including the new Addison, who's looked great in camp, especially in the red zone, potentially snagging some of those touchdowns. So it looks like one of the freest squares on the board. It looks like a low number, one of the best receivers, to get 9 touchdowns. There's a reason it's this low. Fade Jay Jettas in the end zone. Not saying you fade him on yards. I'm not that crazy, but he's not getting 9. Take his less than 8.5 receiving touchdowns this season, folks.
Yeah, there you go. And are we doing long shots now, or are we doing those after?
We will do those right after this.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about the Vikings then in a little bit.
Sure.
But
good.
Yeah, down for that. My square in the north, talked about enough. Sam Laporta, touchdowns, my goat. I don't like to back rookie tight ends, and really year to year you probably shouldn't, but he's a guy that I think is completely different. I think this tight end class as a whole is the best rookie tight end class we've gotten in years, maybe ever. It's actually insane. And he's going to be a focal point of this offense, especially early with no Jameson Williams. I think after you get him settled in for a couple of games here, I'm hoping he gets an early touchdown, but kind of weeks 4 to 8-ish is where I really think he's going to pop off. You have games against the Panthers, Bucks, Raiders, I believe, are in there as well, which the first half of those are going to be without Jameson as well. He's going to absolutely pop off. He's going to be a huge part of this offense. Brock Wright, we've seen the things that they do with him in that offense and a lot of the tight ends that are frankly not even as close to as good as Sam Laporta is, and they'll start to see that. So they're going to unlock him early and often. And that 2-touchdown Sam Laporta game, it's going to hit like crack.
Let's go. Yep. Somebody clip that one. My goodness. Also, we got a Brian Hayes nuke in the bottom of the first, Javon. You can't make it up.
Of course we did.
Can't make it up. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. We got one more play to go over here. Give me Miles Sanders as my NFC South meat on tape square of the PrizePicks season-long entries. Miles Sanders, less than 925.5 rush yards. Look, I just want to fade this guy who was a beast last season, absolute beast for the Eagles, right? I feel like he put up his career highs. I'm looking right now. But this guy was a menace last season on one of the best teams with one of the best, rushing lines in football. Now he's going to the Panthers, Javon. The Panthers are going to be one of the worst teams in football this season. I'm not a big Bryce Young guy, but either way, I mean, that O-line stinks. When are they going to be running the ball? They're going to have no time to run the ball. And it's the same, situation from last year where this team has so many running backs on this depth chart who can all play. A couple Hokies, backups in that, running back field as well with Blackshear. These guys can play. They have a committee. It's not just going to be all Miles Sanders. Guys, when has it ever really been all Miles Sanders? This guy's been, a three-headed running back, committee back his entire career, at least for the last couple of years in Philly. So if you think he's getting a full workload, or if you think he's getting 1,000 yards in this offense behind that line with how bad they're going to be, good luck. And Javon, I'm pretty sure this got bumped down.
Oh yeah, quite a few times. Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, this Panthers O-line is terrible. I think you see them pick up a couple of weapons in the receiving game, like an Adam Thielen, where it's clear that they want to work with giving Bryce Young kind of reliable targets that are not too explosive. So it's going to be a very vanilla offense to kind of get him settled in, which it kind of has to be because of the O-line. So I think you'll see Miles Sanders not do too much. Obviously a worse line than he's had in years. But also, Chuba Hubbard is going to start coming back into the fold after a couple weeks. He's a little banged up, but once he does come back, Blackshear comes back into the fold. It's going to be some split time in the backfield just because they have that opportunity. So I'm 100% with you there. 100% with you there. I'm on Mike Evans. Mike Evans under, this is supposed to be receptions at 65.5. Another one where I think the O-line really helps. I mean, you're looking at obviously some very suspicious lines, both with the receiving yards and then the receptions here. But Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, he's going to throw him a couple bombs, which is why I went with the receptions instead of the receiving yards. It's the only way he's going to be able to get the ball. But he's only going to be able to do that so many times because this Bucs offensive line is terrible. They lost Ryan Jensen for the season, so they have a backup center. You got Tristan Wirfs moving from the right side to the left. A lot of projects on that offensive line. And we saw how big of a problem that was last year with obviously a much better and more veteran quarterback than Baker Mayfield. So I think it's going to be a lot of Godwin in this offense, and especially early in the season, even week one. I think I'm going to back Godwin for catches and yards and whatever it else may be. But I think finding Mike Evans is going to be a struggle, especially if he's a little banged up, especially if there's stuff going on with contract negotiations that he's not too happy with. He's a very emotional guy, not just because of the Marshawn Lattimore. No, I'm really not, because I think early in the season he's going to struggle quite a bit. So even if he goes somewhere else, he's not going to be a focused target as much. Even if he goes the Giants or somebody there that's rumored, still standing on it.
Sure. I'm with it. Feed me any Mike Evans fades this season. He's not getting 1,000 yards. He's not getting 66 receptions. He's not doing squat. All right. W's.
I don't think he's going to trade it either.
Yeah. Didn't you send me a tweet yesterday that he reworked his contract so that he could stay potentially?
Yeah, they sent him. They were talking about it, and negotiations weren't going anywhere for a while. Then Mike Evans and his team sent one that was significantly lower than what they were demanding before. So he clearly does not want to go anywhere. So I'll believe it when I see it if he does get traded.
Okay. W's. Let's move on to the next segment of NFL NFC futures. All right. We're going to power through these, Javon. We got about 10 minutes. NFC dark horses, chat. These are two teams we think are a little undervalued who could potentially make some noise. And this was not super easy to do in the bum-ass NFC. I'll be honest with you. If I could have picked the Vikings, I probably would have. But you know what? I'm cool with taking the Giants too. I think this team will be good, just like they were last year. And I think everyone's scared to back them. I haven't seen any futures on either side, either fading or backing the Giants this season. Nobody knows what to do because they're in a stacked division and they don't know if they're going to take another step up. Well, I'm a Daboll guy, and I'll tell you what, I've never been a Daniel Jones guy, but this is coming from a Manders fan who hates his guts. He impressed me last year. They got Saquon back for a year. I think this offense will be even better this season. Their defense is always pretty good. The Giants always hang around. I hate to say it. They're like the freaking Giants in the MLB where the roster might not be as good as others, but they find ways to win games. Would not be surprised at all if this team sneaks in the playoffs this season, the Giants are my dark horse.
Yeah, wouldn't be shocked at all either. And mine's the Vikings, that I think a lot of people are on the train of. We saw them so fortunate in one-score games last year. If you watch this team, it was one of the teams that you're like, okay, they have a great offense. Their defense is horrible. How are they staying in games? And how are they winning games? They look very lucky on a week-to-week basis. So I think when we talk about fading them, which a lot of people are doing, especially on their win total line, it's baked into it a little bit, which is why I'm full go on the Vikings, especially when everybody else in that division is getting slurped. The Lions, the Bears, and a little bit of the Packers too, with the Jordan Love, for lack of a better term there. We're just forgetting about the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have an even better season than last season. I think this offense is going to be amazing, especially through the air. I don't love Madison back in the backfield, but I don't think he's going to have to do all that much either. So I think it's going to be another year where you just look at the Vikings and you see how are they winning games, because their offense is going to have to carry them every step of the way, and I think they're going to do it.
Okay. W's, we move. Let's talk about our bust of the NFC this year. I've got the Seahawks. Already kind of hinted at this earlier, but I'm fading the Seahawks this season. I'm not a believer. Do I love Pete Carroll and respect the crap out of him? Yes, I do. But not the major. Matt said it perfectly, I think, on the Surge stream a week or so ago, talking about Geno Smith, and he's never been healthy 2 seasons in a row. I want to fade the living heck out of Geno Smith this season, respectfully. Nothing personal at all. I just want to fade a guy who I don't believe in is as good as he was last season. I think that was an anomaly. I think this team takes a step back. We know Jackson Smith and Jigba's already hurt. He's going to probably miss the first 3 weeks at least. Their O-line is cheese. Their defense is bad. I think the Seahawks are going to fall and take a step back this season and miss the playoffs. They're my bust.
Love it. And I talked about this in the spaces a little bit. Just a quick little nugget here. 12 personnel, which is when you play with 2 tight ends. That's a lot of what the Seahawks did last season. And it's popular, especially with veteran quarterbacks, because it helps to disguise a defense, or to not disguise a defense. You can identify it a little better. When you go to 3 wide receivers, they can disguise the defense much easier. And what did they do? They added Jackson Smith and Jigba. So they're going to play with him, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf. So for a quarterback who we've seen some of his downfalls against a lot of defenses like that, they're going to be playing the formations a little bit more, and they've come out and said that they're going to struggle a little bit. So I'm 100% with you there.
Fade the Seahawks. Who are you fading this year? Who's your bust in the NFC?
So it's the Saints, but I'm going to say they're going to win games. It's going to be – I think the Saints are more of the Vikings last season. So, I think they're going to start the year perfectly fine because they have a super soft schedule like we've talked about. But once they get into the games against the much better offenses, I've been talking about targeting that defense for a while. And people are going to find that out very quickly. So the Saints, when they go to play the Vikings, I believe, in Minnesota, they start a stretch where they play a lot of very good offenses, and you're going to see that defense exposed quite a bit. It's they're going to win games at the start of the season, but once we get into the second half, latter half of the season, and potentially into the playoffs if they make it as a wild card team, or if they win the division. I think the Falcons win the division, but that's beside the point. I'm going to be fading them a lot when they play any legitimate offense, and I think you're going to see that very quickly.
Okay, fade the Saints this season. Javon, let's rip through our favorite long shots of each division real quick. I'll get it started. Chat. Yep, putting my money where my mouth is. I will have coins on this play. Probably not a full unit, maybe 0.25 piece, hold the fry. But give me the Eagles to miss the playoffs. I'll be the only person on the face of this earth to lock this play in because you guys don't have the stones to do it. Yep, there I said it. Well, I do. And I'm fading the Eagles this season. I think they take a step back significantly. I think the Cowboys beat up on them. I think the Giants steal one from them. I know the Commanders are going to take one from them. Guys, this division beats up on itself every year. They're going to. And if the Eagles have, as healthy of a season as they did last year, and if Jalen Hurts is that perfect and accurate, if nothing goes wrong, you know what, Javon? I will charge that shit to the game. But until I see some Eagles Super Bowl futures, either in chat or in my DMs, you guys can laugh all you want. The Eagles aren't making the playoffs this year. And I'm the NFC East whisperer. I'll tell you that right now. A team to win this division has not repeated for the last 15 years, chat. They're sure as heck not winning the division. And there's 2 other underrated scrappy teams that nobody wants to take or is talking about in the Manders and the Giants. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 2 teams ends up being goods, and it's the Cowboys to win the division, and it's the Giants or Manders right there at the 2, with the Eagles at the 3, and maybe even missing the playoffs. I'm willing to take a stab at the plus 400. Chat, you don't have the stones to do it. So you can laugh and you can chirp the play as much as you want. Take your Eagles Super Bowl tickets or donate that money to a homeless person. It's the same thing. They're not winning the Super Bowl. They're not even going to make the playoffs, chat. You heard it here first. Nobody else is taking that or put money on it. I am. And I'll see you guys at the counter if you have the cojones to tell it.
I can respect it. I can respect it. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that it's only plus 400. That seems awfully short.
Should be
I'll
plus
be honest with you.
1,000. It's not happening. No chance.
Should be. Yeah. I'm definitely not putting my coins on that. But I'll be rooting for you from the sideline. I do think we're on the same page about one thing, and that's the Cowboys winning the division. And this is kind of a funny one, but I think the Cowboys are going to have a pretty dominant regular season. And what happened the last time we saw that? They disappointed right away in the playoffs. So I think this price right here, plus 380 for them to lose in the divisional round, which the playoffs, I know we have, or I guess that was in the last graphic. I like the favorite of the NFC Championship matchup by quite a bit, which is Eagles-Niners. So I think it's going to be madness up until we get to the final round there in the NFC Championship. I think the playoffs are going to be insane. I think the regular season is going to be crazy a little bit. A lot of the top teams are going to look vulnerable, but ultimately we're going to get to the two best teams. I would not be surprised if after all that happened in the regular season, we see the Cowboys lose to the Eagles when they are in the playoffs right out of the gate.
Well, there's going to have to be somebody else. Krabs could definitely sell me a pen. Funny story, King Dre. When I interviewed for my first job, the lady asked me to sell me a pen, and I had to virtually do that and give her a pitch. And it was the weirdest thing I've ever done, and I got the job. How about it? But who the hell actually asked somebody that in an interview? It's like, yeah, I get it, bro. I've seen Wolf of Wall Street. Thanks. I have a sense of humor. I'm not a freak. Okay? That was one of the weirdest moments of my life. I still remember. And I sold the living shit out of that pen, just like I sold the living shit out of Eagles to miss the playoffs. All right, we move.
You should.
We move. All right, NFC West long shot here, Javon. 49ers to start 5-0. That's what I'm rolling with this year at plus 500. I think the 49ers have a cupcake schedule to start it off. I'll pull it up for you guys real quick. Let's go over it. I believe in this team. And the craziest part is it's not even going to be Brock Purdy starting at the end of these 5 games. It's going to be Sam Darnold. Here's another NFC take for you. Sam Darnold will be starting games for the 49ers sooner than you think. He will. And he's going to take that team to the freaking playoffs. Just wait. Just wait. Okay? Here's the schedule for the 49ers. They play the Steelers, who are the most public team in the fucking NFL, most public home dog in week 1 so far. Hate to say it, but TTP's on it. That's all we got to know right there. They're winning that game. 49ers on the road, they get it done. Then they play the Rams. That's a win. Then they play the Giants at home. That's going to be tough. Not going to lie to you. I might even be on the Giants points there. But you know who's going to pull out a win at home? Shanahan. He'll get it done. Then they play the Cardinals. Well, they're tanking on purpose and losing. They just picked up Josh Dobbs and cut Colt McCoy a week before the season. They suck. They're not winning that game. There's 4 wins. Then they play the Cowboys. This is when it gets weird. And this is when I'm going to hedge this bet probably and be on the Cowboys with the points especially. But I'll tell you what, if we get to 4-0 and it comes down to Cowboys 49ers, probably 49ers minus 2.5 at home in that spot, I'm willing to bet that. And I think this is a really good look for a long shot future here in the NFC West. 49ers to start the season 5-0. If they could beat the Cowboys in week 5, this is free.
Yeah, I'm glad you stopped at 5-0 there, or that was the bet, because I'm going to be looking. I like the 49ers, and that 49ers to win the NFC is my favorite long shot. That's something that I'm going to take live because I've been talking about it for a while. The scheduling spots for the 49ers are terrible. Like they play their last net rest for the league, which is really bad for a team that's already injured going into the season. But they also play a bunch of teams coming off of a bye, which that starts in week 6, funny enough, right after they play the Browns coming off a bye week. They do the same with the Bengals, Jags, and Texans, I believe, are the other one. So like I think throughout the regular season, they're going to look very vulnerable. And once they get healthy towards the playoffs, hopefully they're in a spot where that's a possibility. I think they're going to start to pick it up. So 49ers to win the NFC, that's going to be a live bet for me once we see kind of how the season plays out. I'm going to take that later in the season, maybe wait until the playoffs if I need to, but I think that's the best value that I'm going to find.
Yeah, I'd say either take them now because I do think they win those first 5 games of the season. Maybe they have a tough schedule after the bye and you want to wait till a loss or 2 after then. Sure, you back them in the second half or you wait till right before the playoffs. I'm with it. But I do think they get out to a good start this year. I do.
Fair.
They play cupcake teams. The only real one they got to beat is the Cowboys week 5 at home.
Yeah,
Fair
enough.
Let's go to NFC North long shots here, chat. I'm going with Montgomery to be the NFC North rush leader. Okay, this is a cheeky long shot, hence why it's a long shot. Okay, and this was not the easiest division to cap, but I'm a big Montgomery guy this season. Let me tell you why. Okay, first of all, I think he's in his prime right now. David Montgomery is going to be an absolute stud this season. And yeah, everyone's worried about Jahmyr Gibbs, but guys, what are you hearing about Jahmyr Gibbs right now? The Lions are going to use him like a wide receiver more than they am an RB. And they didn't just sign Demont and they didn't draft Gibbs to have one of them sitting their asses on the bench for the entire fucking game. They're playing them both. They'll both be in the game at the same time. It'll be Demont running the ball, Gibbs a little bit, but mainly Gibbs in the air. I like Demont on the ground. And I want to pull up these futures and the odds on FD and see if I can find it here. But the guys ahead of them, I am not worried about one bit, Javon. Not one bit. What do you think about Demont this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a Jamal Williams type guy. So touchdowns probably would have been what I roll with, but that's also super popular. So can see why you're more on the yards there. But yeah, when you look at the rest of the running backs in this division, it's a lot of timeshare across the board. So while, yes, he is N1 himself with Jahmyr Gibbs, who we really don't know what the usage is going to look like, I think there's a lot of value if you're taking guys like that to lead the league. And I especially think with the investment that's made on him, they're going to put a real priority on getting the ball in his hands. So I have absolutely no problem with that.
Okay. Tell me what you like in that conference or in that division.
Yeah, I took an alt with the Vikings. So I do like everything that I was talking about with them. I think we're talking about, again, being baked into the line, a lot of the regression that a lot of the advanced metrics are going to tell you is coming from the Vikings. I really don't care. I really don't, especially when they have, frankly, a very weak slate of defenses that they'll be facing for the majority of the season. So like a lot of these games, they're not going to win with their defense too. So I think at plus 245 for them to get 11 wins here, it still is a little bit of a long shot, hence, the odds in the alt line, but I like them at a pretty good season. I think they're going to do similar things to last year, like I was saying.
Okay. W's. And I'm trying to find this freaking NFC, NFC North prop so I can sell you guys on this more, but of course I can't freaking find it right now.
We can search it up. We can search it up while we're talking about the South, or I can get us started because
get us started with your fly.
Yeah, kind of both related. I like the Bucs to be the last winless team at plus 1,100, which the Cardinals, I guess, are the popular pick for this, which understandably so. But I was looking at the first 6 games as kind of a sample size. The Bucs go on the road against the Vikings, which I think is going to be a pretty decently close game, but I don't see them winning that game. Then they go Bears at home, Eagles at home, Saints on the road, Lions at home, Falcons at home, which I think that's going to be a tough game in division, but I do like the Falcons this season. So worst case scenario, we're seeing one of those scratch wins out at home, which the Falcons would be the biggest one there. And then they go on the road against the Bills, where we'd be at that game. So I think the Bucs early on in this season, especially with all that's going on with Mike Evans, especially what's going on with the offensive line, they're going to be bad. I am not thrilled to watch this team. And I think the Cardinals too, they'll be in position to get one of those wins in the first couple weeks there, regardless of if it's against a really public side or they squeak one out. So I believe in the Cardinals a little bit with that schedule. I think they scratch one early, but the Bucs, I would not be surprised to see them be absolutely horrendous.
I'm with you. That division just sucks so much, man. I really have a hard time really fading or back at anybody. I do.
Yeah, well, good for the Bucs. They only get what? They don't have to play the Panthers early on in the season. They only got one against the Falcons, who I think are going to be better than people think. They go on the road to New Orleans, which they never really win anyway, but now especially, I think they're going to have a really tough time. But yeah, hurts me to do that, but they're going to
be. Goots, can you pull up those odds? Can you pull up those odds for me, my man? Let me see if we can get them up for the people. Here they are.
There we go.
NFC North, most regular season rush yards. Perfect. Madison, I'm not a big Madison fan. Javon, I know you're not either. There's a chance that they'll bring in another RB at some point, or maybe he's not even the guy. We'll see if he has it in him to be a starting running back for the first time in the NFL. And then you got Justin Fields, I believe, is next. Sure. Not really scared about him. Then you got Demont and Aaron Jones, who are pretty much right there next to each other, I believe, 360 and 650. Javon, it's pretty much, in my eyes, Aaron Jones versus Demont, and the Packers are going to stink. And they need to see what they have with that QB. They're going to need to be passing the ball this season. They're rebuilding. They know what they have with Aaron Jones. And they got A.J. Dillon to steal some yards from him this season too. And if they want to keep Aaron Jones fresh and healthy in a season that doesn't matter where they're not going to the playoffs, they're going to have to use A.J. Dillon more as well. So that's going to take away yards from Jones. Jones and Dillon kind of cancel out. Justin Fields is a QB. I'm not worried about him. Madison, obviously, plus 260, the favorite to win this, but not a Madison guy. Give me DeMont, my favorite running back in this division, to lead the NFC North in rush yards at plus 650. All right, that's a better sell job for you guys. I needed to see the odds in front of me. Okay,
There we go. Yeah.
We move. Let's pivot real quick right back to this graphic. Javon, let's go over the last play. NFC South. You just went over the Bucs, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm going to go over the Bucs even more and roast them a little bit. No Bucs rushing touchdown in the first 3 weeks of the season, plus 500, I believe, maybe plus 6.
It says plus 800.
Yeah.
My goodness. Either way, that might be the most value long shot play of the NFC futures season right here, folks. The Bucs, Javon, earmuffs suck. They're terrible. Okay, when are they going to be able to run the ball against the Vikings when they're down by 30 after the first half? When are they going to be able to run the ball against the Bears and that new look defense and that defensive line, Tremaine Edmonds? When are they going to be able to run the ball against them? I don't know. Probably never. And the Bears are going to be up in that game early and often. When are they going to be able to run the ball against the Eagles? Probably never. They're not going to get a rushing touchdown. Give me plus 800, one of the nastiest looks you have on the board.
Yeah. I have no issue with that.
Find that bet.
You find it getting balls deep in the NFL lab, trying to find winners for the people. That's
It's a crazy bet.
Love it.
All right, chat. We got to move real quick, though. We've got meat on tape futures we got to talk about here. And honestly, Trent, why don't you craft up yours for the NFC? I want it. I need it, to be honest with you. But we got ours up here, Javon, and I've talked about mine enough. Cowboys to win the NFC East, plus 195. The same team never wins this division. If you think the Eagles are winning the NFC East, you don't know ball because they're not. It's already written. The NFC East, new winner every single year. Give me the Cowboys when everybody's off them. Dak Prescott running a comfortable conservative offense and one of the best defenses in football led by Micah Parsons, who might be the best defender in football. The Cowboys, it's their year. They're winning the NFC East at plus 195. That is great value here. Great value.
100%.
W's.
Javon?
W's. Yeah, I mean, I've said enough about mine too. Falcons are winning 9 games. Take the under if you have the nuts. You'll be in piss. You'll be donating. Watch them win. See you in the playoffs.
Trent, you got an NFC team you like?
An NFC team? No. I don't want to waste any time just rambling and gambling about that. While we are on this topic, I'm sure you guys probably come back to baseball here in a minute. Anybody that should be left off the surgical 6, Javon?
For week 1?
Yeah. Give me your 3 that you're like, those are scary. I wouldn't touch.
I can tell you right off the bat, I know the Jags are going to be considered.
And you think that's sus? I think so too.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Let's see, what else do we have out of the shorter lines that I think you would take? I think that's by far the most suspicious. I would not take the Bengals, obviously, but I'm very biased in that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I'd even give you a thumbs up on the Niners on the road if you wanted to be a freak and fade maybe the most trendy public dog of week 1, Steelers. I don't know if that's been floating around in your brain. Also, the Commanders are winning.
Do not bet on Steelers.
Seems like
the Commanders are winning week 1.
I like the target early, like the heavy favorites, so we can get to the late night, afternoon, then the late night, So get through the early cake. That's my motto.
It's got to be
If you get through the early cake, man, the vibes are high.
It's got to be Manders.
They're winning?
Yeah. I mean, the Cardinals are losing. That's really the point. The Cardinals will lose that game. They don't want to win. They literally cut Colt McCoy. He used to be our quarterback, who would be the only guy that gives them a breathing chance to win that game. They cut him a week before the season. I've never seen a team do that ever. They are tanking right in front of our eyes. They are not winning that game. They might cover. They're not winning.
Are the Falcons winning?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Didn't mean to take up time. Just wanted to get So I'm going to start making.
Down to talk about this on Surge too, if you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll circle back.
100%. 100%. All right, chat. We just absolutely powered through our NFC futures talk here, folks. We're going to do the AFC tomorrow. Wanted to save the AFC for a day with less baseball tomorrow so we can spend some more time. But for now, Javon, we got to hop to some MLB. We got to find some winners for the people.
That we do.
The squad
Ready?
rides have been putting fucking steaks, Wagyu on the table for Timmy.
Yeah, they're paying.
And it
And
was
we're running back
always
to
the
that.
Padres whale.
Always was.
I got too scared, man. I just took my luck and my money and ran from the slate.
But that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
I'm being
That's a good
such a good boy.
You're being good. Let's keep
being
that.
a
Let's keep
good
that going
boy.
through the week one of the NFL season because I know it's going to be
Yeah.
tough. Let's keep it
Sent
going.
me a $500 two-teamer last night of overs.
Dude, and that shit slapped, bro. And
It
I
did.
owed Javon's the reason I went up 15,000 last night.
15,000.
$15,000, Javon.
Crazy. Shout out Ellie.
Shout out Ellie. I'm never chirping the Reds again. And I will not bet on them to respect Reds fans.
There
Yep.
we go. Cool.
Trent, we were gassing you up in the beginning of BTL, man. You're probably still around, but W day, and only you would get chirped by Blake Snell immediately after bringing down Earth.
Literally. Are you fucking kidding? He has no ball.
Who else is that happening to?
He
Though?
could have said any other leg. He could have said any other leg was not going to hit, but he said Deshaun Watson's chalked, and that's how I know he doesn't know ball.
He should know ball. He's trying to win a Cy Young. I hope he doesn't know ball. It'd be weird if he was surgical with these plays. To be honest
How about
with
the two friends of the program in the running for Cy Young? You love to see it.
you. Love to see it.
100%.
Unbelievable. Justin Steele, Blake Snell, either way, whoever wins, unbelievable seasons.
It's cool as fuck.
Yep. W's. All right, Chad, we got to talk some MLB. Javon, you want to rip through the cheat sheet real quick? The people need it.
Sure.
Need it.
Sure.
Go ahead. Give us the Phil's nods.
Shout
What
out
do
Pete
we got?
Alonso for just being the most goated cheat sheet whale.
So
Yep.
good. Yeah, him and Altuve just respect it.
They
damn
do.
every time. Every time.
Yep.
So BVP, we have Reynolds up there, Soto up there. I think he has a really good matchup that usually never ends well, so I'll leave it there. But Arias, I'm going to be targeting quite a bit today. I love his matchup, and we'll be talking about that when we get to the game. Ryan McMahon as well. I think we see a lot of runs in that game with the Rockies and the D-backs. He's facing Zach Davies, who obviously you see the history against him, but also take it away, and his matchup is beautiful. So I think we're going to see runs, turkeys, a lot of them from the power hitters in the lineup. So Nolan Jones and Ryan McMahon are right up there. Nolan Jones doesn't have the history, obviously. Can go down to the bottom. We'll be talking about, and yeah, 2% whiff rate is nuts.
2% whiff rate.
Arias.
Whiff rate is fucking cracked.
Yeah, it's Arias, man. But yeah, we'll talk about this Rangers game. I think Verlander gets shelled, but he is on the road where he's been a little worse. Joe Ryan, I guess we talked about the game started, but square spot of the day for me is with the Braves bats against Dakota Hudson.
Yeah.
Super excited. Super excited.
What the hell is Trent so excited about? Besides squaring up with
I'm
the
taking
Braves today?
I'm taking today easy. I have a 10U whale on the Braves and whatever the squad ride is.
God, man.
That's not taking
Unreal.
it easy, sir.
Just one
You can't
play,
say I'm
man.
taking it-
Meet on the
You can't
fucking
say I'm
table.
taking it easy and then follow it up with a 10U Braves whale.
Yeah.
Dude, so
Like,
I
what are
knew
you doing?
yesterday. I knew right away as soon as I clicked submit on that 4-leg Bezos pack, betting on teams to do their jobs and need wins, and I knew the Braves were losing. I literally looked at Chelly and said, "I'm so confident the Braves are not gonna clutch up for this parlay." Sure enough, it goes 3 or 4, Braves lose, and I'm coming for revenge.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Do it today. Do it today with the Braves because they're dropping 10 runs today. Dakota Hudson absolutely sucks. I mean, he gives up hard hits. He doesn't strike guys out. The Braves destroy every right-handed pitcher that gives up hard hits. He throws the sinker, which they absolutely crush too, especially lately. It's like there's no path to success for me, which I guess I could say that's like for a lot of pitchers that are facing the Braves, frankly. But like today, I don't think Dakota Hudson is going to last 4 innings. I think it's going to get really ugly. He's like, I don't see many. You see like a 4.5 floating around for earned runs sometimes in the books, but when they're at 3.5, you usually get like one that's you never usually get one that's like super juicy towards the over. That's where he is today. So like, I don't think there's any sort of way he pitches well against the Braves, and if he does, I'll gladly eat my
Wait.
words and I'll pay to find out.
What was juice to the over?
He's a 3.5 earned runs. That's like minus 140. But like usually when you find some at 3.5, it's either they're plus money or they bump them up to 4.5. And the 4.5s honestly always land at 4. So if we see it juiced over 3.5, it always catches my attention, regardless of who it's against. And yeah,
Daniel Hudson, World Series champion, national legend.
Yeah, he's been on like every team. Yeah.
Thoughts on the Braves team totals?
That's what's on my best bets.
Oh my god.
I mean, Javon, you'd recommend that over Braves minus.
I mean, if you're taking it, I assume Trent's
plus
gonna,
2.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say Trent's probably wailing it. So if there's like a value play, I would put Strider in the cap because I'm sure you want to back Strider too, and I have no problem doing that. So I assume the 1.5 is pretty juicy, but the 2.5 is not. I'm not mad at that at all.
Okay, but you go team total,
dude. It's been 5 minutes.
Get that out of here. You're taking it easy today, my ass. You're not taking anything easy.
We just got to be so much better.
Man.
All my eggs in one basket. That's taking it easy.
It's literally the opposite.
Dude.
I don't need to spray the board, man. Just quick in and out. Let's watch one game tonight and fucking nuke it.
I'd rather you do that than take 10 plays. I'm with you.
But it's 12:40. So, like, you're taking it easy right now and not spraying the board. But we all know.
No, I'm actually
come an hour. You're gonna have some bets locked in.
No, dude, because I'm obsessed with seeing green as of recent.
You're locked.
You're obsessed with it.
Yeah, good. Stay obsessed. And what did you lock in? It was like I needed a
Braves by 1.5, Braves by 2.5, and the Braves team total over.
Okay, let's hope that goes at least 2 for 3 and you move. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I'd rather you do that than you send 10 plays on an MLB slate in September. That doesn't mean shit. I'm with you.
Let's go.
Didn't have to be 10 years, but you know what?
It's 15 now.
You pick your battles, and I'm not picking this one. You win.
15, bro. Oh my god, bro. What are we doing?
And the Padres, dude, are somehow, some way going to probably win tonight.
The Padres are going to win today. Javon, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean we can talk about the Padres.
You want to talk about the line coming down 15 cents towards Michael Wacha against Wheeler and the Red Hot Phillies?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna win. They're winning the series. I really don't care. I guess it's a little baked in for the last 2 games. The fact that they're playing without Trey Turner, he got put on the list for having a kid right before the game yesterday, which was probably a reason for the little line move there initially. But I really am not too concerned. Zach Wheeler, another one that probably could have been on the cheat sheet, which I still think he's going to pitch somewhat well. I don't think you're going to see an absolute moose fest like I expect when he faces a team like the Nationals. But when he faces teams that don't strike out against right-handed pitching, much, if at all, he struggles. And the Padres, as bad as they are, they don't strike out much against right-handed pitching. They've been top 10 for like the entire year. So I think they're going to make life a little difficult for him, which is another reason why, like Soto, I like him today, minus the history or despite the history or whatever, because I think he's going to be one of those guys that's pretty key in doing that. It's like I love Walker's matchup today. I think he's going to pitch well against the Phillies, but Zach Wheeler's going to get hit too. So this is a grinded out Padres game for me.
Rumor has it Parlay Safari's on the Phils. Ooh. Well, we know he's taking care of that puppy right now. He might not be too locked in the lab.
He's got Scoot. He's got his hands full.
Yeah.
Do you blame him? He's got the cutest dog ever to take care of. And
I don't blame him at all, but it just might not be locked. There's nothing wrong with it.
Last time the chat was spamming that he was on something else, it was NC State against UConn. So I feel good. We're good.
Although I will give respect to respect is due. Parlay Safari's good. I like his plays.
Yes.
9 out of 10 plays, we're on the same ones. He bets nasty. He's a contrarian at heart. Love the plays. I do. Just not this one. Love Scoot, though. That's a cute-ass dog. My goodness.
It is.
Javon, what other games you want to cover today? I know you got a couple other best bets, probably worth our attention. You talked about Atlanta. Obviously talked about the Padres. Where else do you want to take us today?
Ooh, looks like we got a Joe Ryan turkey.
Sure.
That's a run.
What's the play you guys have there? Oh, you have his less than fantasy, right?
Yeah. Will Brennan go?
I think we picked the wrong pirate, I'll be honest with you.
That's we did. That would be on me. We'll see, though.
It's okay.
Yes, a chance.
Why don't you talk about this Rangers and Houston game, Javon? It's the game of the frickin' night. Obviously, two teammates now turned opponents in one of the weirdest MLB trade seasons ever. You got Scherzer, you got Justin Verlander. You talked about Verlander maybe getting rocked on the road tonight. We know that this is the first time the Rangers are out of a playoff spot for the first time since April 8th. Okay, the Rangers are not playing great ball. They've gotten punched in the mouth in these first two games of the series. They've lost by a combined 25-5 or something like that. They've gotten smacked. Altuve hit 3 nukes yesterday. With that being said, Javon, it's got to be the Rangers today.
It is. And I initially was on the ML, then I came to the realization that I probably shouldn't do that because the Rangers bullpen is terrible. So give me the first 5 minus a half. I think Scherzer outduels Verlander. And for a team that's been as bad offensively, really, I guess their pitching staff has sucked too, and the bullpen especially, but for a team has been as bad offensively as they are, and I guess despite Verlander having a really bad start against the Yankees last time out, I was shocked to see Verlander on the book sitting at 3.5 earned runs. Absolutely shocked. So like that kind of plays into everything that I think. He's on the road, like I said, where it's been significantly worse. I love the matchup for a lot of the guys today. I think you can also square up at a spot with Corey Seager today. But Verlander, I think it's destroyed today. And there's very few far in between teams or times that I've been able to go to the Rangers bats and say that with confidence. I'm saying it with confidence today. And I think they destroy him. I think Scherzer pitches lights out. I think Altuve is probably the only one you got to worry about today just because he's absolutely ridiculous right now. But other than that, I feel confident about him pitching through this lineup, at least early in the game. So I'm going with the Rangers in the first 5 minus a half.
Okay. Get in, get out with the Rangers. You don't want to deal with those bullpens. I don't blame you. The Rangers are notorious melters. Maybe we do take that first 5, either ML or minus a half at plus money, and go about our day.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. W's. Tatis is up for 1.5 Ks. Whoa.
Yeah, it's probably
That's interesting. You know what else is up? Gooch, do me a favor, my man. Go ahead and type in Carter Keyboom into PrizePicks real quick. Would you go ahead and pull up the GOAT for me?
No shot. No shot he's up.
Yes shot he's up, and
Kaboom.
Yes shot he is dialed. Kaboom. People forget his brother was a fat catcher for us a couple years ago. Absolute beast. Spencer Keyboom. But now we got Carter. Okay, and Carter's been dialed. Like I've talked about before with this guy, his last chance to make a good impression on the Nationals before we literally let him go for a bag of chips. He was one of our top prospects. He was one of the top prospects in baseball a couple years ago. The guy's gotten hurt every single year. He's never come through when he comes up. But this time, Javon, is different. He's dialed right now. This is crazy. It's even up. Definitely taking the square tonight. And we got Davey Martinez's burner coming in saying he seconds it. So I don't think anything else that needs to even be said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the board for that game. I mean, you also have CJ Abrams' bases up, which he hasn't even been in the lineup much at all recently. And when they do put that up, that square has been green. So it's telling me some Nats runs are coming today.
Wee. And I think Adone pitches decent today. They got that 2.5 earned run square up after he got shelled. Interesting. Wouldn't be surprised if the Nats get a win today. HL. CHL. Javon, I wouldn't be surprised if Adone does enough today.
Yeah, I would not be shocked in the slightest.
Yep. Guys, Victor Robles, I know you guys are concerned about him. I am too. He is hurt. He hasn't played since there was a little fight in the dugout, so it could be a made-up injury. There's also a chance that he never plays in a Nationals uniform again because he's kind of a piece of shit, from what I've heard. So I'm still a Robles guy. I'm biased as heck. Okay, he's still got a ring, though he didn't play in that World Series, but he's probably toast. He's probably toast. I would be surprised if he plays in a Nationals uniform ever again. He'll probably be on the Yankees and be unbelievable next season. Okay.
Yeah, he probably will. Probably will.
Javon, any other games you want to target tonight before we start crafting up for the squad ride? You want to talk Reds?
We can talk Reds. I don't love this game, to be honest with you. I think Logan Gilbert's going to pitch okay today. I think this might be the under we get after yesterday, especially like a 10 down to 9.5. Always catches my eye in Cincy, especially when we have a guy on the mound who I really like, not Logan Gilbert, but Ryan Richardson, who's actually been sneakily good when he's coming and pitch for the Reds this season. A lot of good stuff for him. So I see that 10 down to 9.5. I could see Logan Gilbert pitching a fine game, and Lyon Richardson's actually been pretty solid too. So like I like his matchup. I like the matchup on both sides. Feels like a Mariners win, but I don't know that they do it more than one. That Reds plus 1.5 sitting even both ways has been staring me dead in the face, not just because I want to do it, but they also lead the MLB by quite a bit in one-run games. So that's really, realistically, I haven't looked at the numbers or anything. That's got to be one of the most profitable bets in baseball. So I don't mind taking that today, but I don't love that game.
Okay, they got that Gilbert earned run square up. Kind of weird, Javon. Tells me the Reds might show some heart early in this game when they typically do late.
Yeah, don't hate that. Don't hate that at all.
Weird.
It'll be usually when I see 10 to 9.5 and I like an under, it looks dead for about 3 or 4 innings. And then you get the magical good performance out of both bullpens, including the Reds, which is kind of hard to put together. So like yesterday, they did have to rest a lot of their guys. So like they got the B team bullpen in yesterday that they pulled through. So you're going to have, outside of Alexis Diaz, which he might pitch today too, you're going to have the A guys out of the bullpen for the Reds. So, I mean, that's a plus, I guess, if you're looking on the back end of that game.
And the A bullpen pitch yesterday for the Mariners. So I don't know if they'll all be available, but Brash went. Don't know why I'm blanking on the closer's name because he's a beast, but their closer pitched yesterday, Munoz. Yep.
Munoz pitched.
So I don't know.
Topa pitched. He was a big setup guy. So, I mean, they had all the arms go. Yeah.
I mean, who knows if they pitched the last couple of days, but if they have, might be at least one of those guys who's unavailable tonight. Could be the difference for the Reds there late. Huge.
Could be the difference. So, yeah,
Right.
I don't love that, but it's Reds plus 1.5 for me, if anything. What other ones have we not talked about, I guess? I mean,
I like the Nats today on the ML.
Okay.
Yeah. Royals. Royals ML. Jordan Lyles is the favorite.
Jordan
Enough
Lyles.
said. Jordan Lyles is the favorite. Enough said.
There we go. Yeah, Tukey sounds bad. He's very bad.
Yeah,
he's like, the Royals are not incredibly patient, but that guy has walked like it's like 3.5 on average in like his start since he's been back in the league. He hasn't had a game with he's had a game with multiple walks like his last 7 or something starts. It's kind of crazy. So like free base runners is always a good thing when you have an offense that can bottom out at any time, and the Royals at home too. I think you gotta roll with the Royals and runs here too. I don't think you're gonna see any sort of runs. I don't think Jordan Lyles is gonna masterclass today. Coming off of one too. If you're like 8, I don't know if it was scoreless, but 8 like 2-run, 1-run innings against the Red Sox last start out, masterclass. That's
not gonna be back. Trophies. Give me the trophies on the ML, Chiote. Bring that damn trophy out. They're back.
Dude, we got Ronald Acuna in chat or in queue now. Changed in 2 seconds after placing 15 units.
Unbelievable. Oh my God, is that Matt Olson?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
Hey, Trent, Matt Olson has an RBI square up today.
Fuck that square.
Yeah, that should happen.
You should take the under. We need hits. We need hits from Matt Olson.
Yeah, I might just fade that for OG fade.
Fade it for the grade of everything here.
Dude, if we don't get a run in the first inning out of the Braves, dude, I'm moving on.
Well, good thing they're the best first inning team in baseball, so no chance they don't score in the first, right?
Crabs, I don't need contrarian bullshit on this game, man.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. I'm just getting in your head. Just trying to rally you up a little bit.
That's
Javon, where do you want to put these squad ride games in? I know there's a couple early starts, right? Like, do we even want to factor in the Padres?
No, it probably is a little too early.
All right.
But can start. I mean, we're going to put the Braves in some form or fashion in there. How do we want to do it?
You want to just take their team total?
Yeah, I want to take the team total.
Let's take their team total. Atlanta team total over. Let's go Royals ML.
Yep.
Let's go Texas. I want to take ML in the game. I think they end the streak, and I think they beat Houston. But if you really want to take first 5, we can. If you really want to take first 5, we can.
No, we can leave. We can do it. It's going to be pulling hair to deal with the bullpen, but we'll see.
Well, they might not need the bullpen today. It's going to be a Scherzer masterclass. I feel it.
I'm hoping Scherzer can give them some that's the only reason. If it was any other pitcher, I would feel super, super strongly and veto that. But hopefully Scherzer gives them 7.
I either have testicular cancer or I know Scherzer's throwing a complete game shutout tonight. I can feel it.
There we go. There we go.
Let's hope it's the latter. Okay, folks?
Okay.
We'll go Texas ML. We'll go Kansas City ML, Atlanta team total over. Okay, Javon, what else can we throw in here, bro? We could just roll a three-piece.
That sounds like a big three right there.
Let's do it. 3 plays today, folks. 3 winners. Okay, we're going Atlanta team total over, Kansas City ML, and Max Scherzer and the Rangers on the ML. Get your votes in. The poll is up in the Twitch chat. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Hurry up. Get your votes in, folks. Get them in there. Hurry up. Get your votes in. Check out the Twitch poll. Click a button. Not a single person is voting for that middle vote. I bet. Which one is that? Royals ML? Shocker. Shocker, folks. Okay, Chad, vote for the play that's winning, not the play that you want to take because Trent's on it or fade because Trent's on it. Take the play that's a winner. Trust your gut. This is the sharpest chat in the history of the planet. Okay, you guys are 122, 82, and 3. Trust your gut. Let us know what your favorite play is today, and we'll meet you guys at the counter. All right? If you guys haven't done the Survivor Pool yet, guys, it takes 3 seconds to join the Survivor Pool. It's free. You can win Super Bowl tickets. Me, Mikey, Chelly, Lauren, Javon, and Trent are all in the Survivor Pool. We're going to be sweating it out, talking about it all season. Hop in. The link is in chat right here. It takes 3 seconds to sign up. Join the poll. All right? And like I said before, this challenge still stands, and I'm going to do it in BTL chat, so this is very pertinent for you guys. If anybody lasts longer than me, which you won't, pause, in this Survivor Pool, I'm going to give away $100 to 3 people at least in BTL chat the week after I get eliminated. I want you guys to put your money where your mouth is. All you guys chirping about this Colorado futures, like they've already won 4 games. If you think you know ball better than me, I'd like to see you try because I don't think you do. And here's a way to do it for free. Okay, join the Survivor Pool. You can win Super Bowl tickets. And if you haven't done the Survivor Pool yet, it's the easiest thing to do all season long. It takes 1 second to lock in your pick for the whole week. The time commitment is 0, and it's extremely fun. It's probably my favorite non-betting way to, financially get invested in the NFL season. Straight up. Straight up. If you guys haven't joined it yet, join the Survivor Pool, and please don't take the Commanders week 1. Everyone's on. Everyone's on. All right? We'll go back to the poll. W's, Goots. You're doing great back there, kid. Love it. Looks like it's going to be a runaway Atlanta team total over. Not really surprised. Not really surprised, Javon.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I got my fantasy football draft tonight with my buddies. I probably won't be taking Cooper Kupp before Jamar Chase tonight.
Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce.
Yep.
Time to saddle the fuck up, chat.
Let's go, Trent. Keep those coins safe, brother. Keep those coins safe, okay? Stay hot. Stay hot. It's okay to hit bets. You're doing it right now. You don't got to force and find ways to lose those coins. It's okay to hit bets. Like you said, Trent, you're seeing green. You're addicted to seeing green. And just like the Braves team total over just turned green in the poll, that's where we're getting the coins tonight, folks. Braves team total over. It's that simple. It's that simple. All right, chat. We'll do the AFC NFL recap preview tomorrow for our futures, okay? Limited baseball games tomorrow. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it. But tonight, to bring the coins home, we're taking the Braves team total over. It's going to be a bloodbath for the Cardinals and Dakota Hudson tonight. Javon, are you stoked?
Very stoked. They're scoring 6. I can tell you that. They're probably scoring 10. So
and I'm
we're riding the Braves tonight. And we're tailing G.
That's what I'm talking about, folks. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing